Saturday morning, end of June, way behind schedule. This is the site, the house expansion, Friar residence. One of the reasons that the schedule's been delayed so significant, besides all the rain delays we've had, is right here in the southeast corner I had a large garbage dump, and then while excavating for my footer, lowering it just a little bit, you can see I stepped down. Right here I hit another huge garbage dump. I thought I'd found that truck that was the fabled truck that was driven in here years ago, but it's just wash machines, and looks like about 2 or 3 wash machines in there actually, and various other junks. Found a bumper. There's that wash machine, one of them. That fell off my bucket as I was taking the rest down to put on my trailer to be recycled. There's our septic tank I installed about 8 years ago. Progress, but it is slow. You can see I'm down to virgin soil, except for right here where I had to dig that garbage dump out. And then I backfilled by digging out a lot of the rocky soil down in my lower field. Right there's my stash of rocky soil. It's just full of very large stone. Perfect fill material. So I've got that in about a 15-foot swatch right there. I'll drill down till I hit hard material. So far I've been able to get some 4-foot holes in. 4 foot by 12 inch and 7 spots here. I'll put another 3 up through here, maybe 4. That foundation won't go anyplace. This side back here I got a lot of shell up underneath the soil, in the soil rather, and rock, so I'm not concerned with that. You can see my square I built. Alright, that's the status for this Saturday. Hopefully next week we'll put all these together and have it inspected by the state inspector and place our concrete and get out of the mud. July 11th. Today we placed some concrete. As you can see, we didn't place it all. A little over halfway done, I'd say. Real hot today, high humidity. My helper about heat stroked out on me. We'll finish it up tomorrow. Another 5 yards. This is 10 yards. You can see all the holes are completely filled now. All 9 of them along this plane, and what's left is just forms. Finish that up tomorrow, and probably Wednesday we'll start placing the styrofoam block. Project Mooresburg using Intregra Spec ICF. Addition to an existing residence. A few interesting features here. We started this construction without the assistance of Ray Volz here, YBC Building Material Company's representative. And we have made a few mistakes. Namely, number one is, as Jared's going around hammering these down, we were using our body weight because we were afraid we were going to break the nibs. And Ray brought in an interesting way of hammering these down and making these nibs fit flush, as you can see there, is with this 2x4 and 2-pound sledge. We were afraid we were going to break those nibs. They're not near as fragile as we would have believed. Another interesting aspect that Ray brought forth is the splices. The manual goes into limited detail about splices, and unfortunately these splices are very important. As you can see, we have a few places in the wall here that require splices, and this one, a poorly done splice that we're going to have to take back apart and redo because we just didn't know how to do it correctly. And Ray has brought up an interesting aspect of splices. Ray, would you like to discuss that?
Sure. What I typically do, when we're starting off on the bottom, we work from corner to corner and work towards the center of the wall. If we have any areas where we need to splice, being at the bottom of the wall where a lot of pressure is going to be exerted, what I typically do is make a 10-inch splice. I cut back into another block, and I'll go from the outside of one Intregra Spec line to the outside of another. That is 10 inches. That way it gives us two of the connecting stations to keep it in place. That way we're not strapping it with any 1-bys or anything like that. So also what I do too is on the exterior of the wall, prior to starting, I put a kick plate down, whether it be a 2x4, just tap on it down or shoot it down. Then that way we have a reference line that we can push our wall out to. So as we're building it, we can keep it nice and plumb. And then before we pour, we do a pre-pour inspection. Then afterwards, we do a post-pour inspection.
Thanks, Ray. Yeah, the kick plate, this is a kick plate. We've screwed them in with tap cons. Unfortunately, we didn't do it all the way around. We just went ahead and started building a wall without them. And we're going to have to go back and put those kick plates in. It would have been a lot easier with those. Some interesting things that Ray's brought out to us today that not necessarily in the manual. Another aspect of this project is this existing fireplace. It became a challenge when it started pulling away from the house here. Looking at how to fix this problem and keep this, as we've decided to take this existing foundation and tie into the new foundation with a rebar cage and then place cement around it here probably tomorrow. So I'll show a video or a picture or two of that once it's complete. Now here we are, July 19th. We have our walls placed, foundation walls anyway. You can see the outlet for my radon. Got this wall yet to place. That being a T-wall, I thought it best to pour these peripheral walls and save that till later. That way I don't have any pressure against this wall and this wall. Now you can see the drain there, and it goes across to here. And I also have a drain up here. Well, you can't see it. It's right about where that big Bertha square I built is. And I'm going to connect that back in down here and give it a zigzag motion going across to optimize any radon pickup or moisture pickup and take it back out the back side of the form out to daylight. This chimney's been a real issue. It's been a real pain and still is. We still haven't finished it. We're level from this corner over to that wall, but we're not doing well around there, but we'll figure it out tomorrow and finish this up and call and get our concrete ordered. I'll get in there tonight and calculate how much I need to place. Well, that's the status of today. Hopefully we can get our concrete in the forms tomorrow and Thursday get this wall placed. And inspector came today and approved going forward and placing concrete. So we're a step closer. Now comes the real issue, which is going to be backfill. I intend to backfill all of this with material from down the pond up to the top of this wall. And as I take the ICF upward, which will be 1 story on this section, and that section over there facing north and south will be 2 story. But as I place this ICF upward, I'll come back in here and place some gravel and visqueen insulation and get the floor down here placed. Alright, that's it. First week in August, I think it's August 5th. We're ready for concrete. I'd actually ordered it this past Wednesday, today being Friday, but they couldn't make it out with the conveyor truck. You see my braid-on outlet right there as I go up the wall here. I got my penetrations in for sewage. B for the kitchen. But this gave us a chance to finish out some walls and go through and check our square and wall straightness and plumb one more time. You can see I've put in the other wall there. I was going to use this wall right here. I was going to use structural steel to frame around a stairway that's going right about here where that scaffold is. I changed my mind, went ahead and put that wall in. That'd be the back support to the upper part of the stairway. The front part of the stairway will come down or on top of this to go up from there up to the 2nd story from the kitchen here. Yeah, that will be a kitchen eventually. And then there's the garage area back on that end. That's the north end, back where that car sits. Framing around this fireplace continues to be a real issue. Hopefully I've got it level this time, and when I place concrete in it, it may get a lot easier to work around. If not, then doggone it, I may just go ahead and pour flush when I put this floor in and start over. That's driving me crazy over there. See, I have my kick boards all the way in on both sides. We have our uprights for support. Again, it's plumb. You can see my plumb line on all the corners and running down the walls to make sure that we keep it straight. Put a little extra support in the middle here, cross tied over with a 2x4 to keep it from going in on me in the middle. Put a couple of pieces of OSB board in there. Not really called for, but just probably the right thing to do, just in case. I've got my strong backs on the wall here, on this T-wall, and I'll finish that T-wall up tomorrow. Well, that's what it looks like. And Monday morning, 7 o'clock, all this will be filled with concrete. I can backfill all of this and then start actually building the real house. You can see I started stockpiling my backfill down here out of this pond. That's not going to be enough, but I'll go back here, use this backfill that I talked about a few weeks ago, and keep going.